Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Katja, and I've got two wolves inside of me. One has autism, one has ADHD. So come and join me as we explore the way these two things interact. So, if you're like me, you went through your entire life thinking something was wrong with you because you weren't able to handle regular life. You'd find yourself in situations where you forgot the important thing, you lost something, you're like hanging out with somebody that you've known forever and feeling awkward. And they're like, We've known each other for so long. Why are you feeling awkward? Stuff like that, where it's like, what's wrong with me? If that's you, you're not alone. You're in good company, and maybe you're autistic. Maybe you have a little bit of ADHD. I'm not a clinician. I got to put that out there. I'm not a clinician. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. So let's get into it. Here are 7 signs that you might have autism or ADHD. The first thing is losing things. I would always forget my purse, my wallet, my keys. I lost my ID so many times in college that I had to get it replaced 15 times. I lost it so often that I would just keep my dorm room window unlocked so I could climb through the window because I knew like half the time I wasn't going to have my ID to get me into the building. So that's an ADHD trait. I think the reason I lose things is because I'm thinking about other things all the time. I'm like thinking about making sure like do I have all this stuff? Where am I going to be going? Okay, yeah. And then walking out the door, maybe I'm thinking about like the audiobook I'm going to listen to when I'm in the car. And I'm just thinking about so many things. Number 2, your mind being somewhere else. I kind of talked about this, but it's like somebody will say something. I'll be having a conversation with somebody, and like something they say will make me think of something else or have a question, and my mind will be fully on a different path, and I will not hear the rest of what they said. I don't know what they said because I'm on a different journey, or I am locked in on one question. Now, I've been able to like get a little bit more unmasking with this stuff and be like, hey, can I just really quick before we move on, what did you mean by this thing? Or, oh my God, before we move on, like, wait, when you said this, it made me think of this. And oh my God, I just think that's so funny. And just like sharing that little pathway, it's just been really nice to like start doing. But my mind being in different places, totally an autistic and ADHD thing. An AuDHD thing, and nothing to be ashamed of, but it's better when I own it rather than just pretending I hear everybody. Of course, choosing where to unmask is important. Like at work, I'm more likely to be like, okay, understood, and then check with a coworker. Did I hear this right? Da da da, rather than checking with the boss sometimes. Another part is the third thing that is a sign of autism or ADHD is not being able to recognize like body signals, like being hungry or thirsty or too hot or too cold until it's too late. More the hungry and thirsty thing. Like sometimes for me, I just get so involved with something, it's like hyper focus on something that like I am like either not interested in eating because I'm just too locked in and I don't want to lose the momentum, or I am like not even thinking about eating until it just like hits me like a ton of bricks. Poof, and I'm so hungry. Like it actually feels like dire, like I might die. And then it's of course so hard to like make a meal when I'm at that level of hunger and like blood sugar loss. Same thing with being tired. Like being tired can hit me like a ton of bricks. I could be at a social gathering. This is more autistic, I feel, but it's like I'll be like hanging out, having fun, and then all of a sudden, like, wait, I can't handle this anymore. I need to be not here. That's autistic. So the fourth thing is having a spiky skill set. So the way I've understood this is like if you have like a chart, and like I should put a graphic really, but if it's like a chart and there's like different types of skills, it's like chess, math, social skills, theater, English, and then you're like good at math, bad at social skills, good at theater, bad at cooking, stuff like that. Like it's a spiky skill set. And I definitely relate to that. So it's like I think there's this idea of like if somebody's like got a good head on their shoulders, then they're just smart in all capacities. That it's like being street smart and book smart. Or maybe that's not really like the normal idea, but there's this idea of like if you're smart, you can kind of like figure things out. I am not that way necessarily. Like I can guess things sometimes, but I really don't know like what the when people are like use your common sense, I'm like, okay, so what is your common sense? Like, my common sense tends to be a little different than other people's common sense. That's a tough one when they're like, okay, and then just make it look nice. I'm like, well, what looks nice to you? Number five is literal thinking, super autistic trait, just like taking things extremely literally. So, like, lots of people use sarcasm. I can tell if people are using sarcasm very obviously, but a lot of the time I won't pick up on it if people are like really deadpan. So I used to always think of it like when people were joking in that way that they're just lying. And like that would just cause problems with people because I'm just like, why are people just constantly lying? Like, okay, so lying is funny. It's like, that's the kind of literal thinking that happens for me. But comment below what kind of literal thinking happens to you. Number six is masking. So if you ever find yourself like lying to kind of pacify somebody, like this is not in like so let me give an example. I started to really notice myself like saying I liked things or trying to give things a chance that I really knew I didn't really care for, or trying to dress in a different way, or trying to use different turns of phrases to speak in certain ways with different people. I was really would be nervous about like groups of like different people I knew coming together, people I knew individually coming together because the way that I behaved with each person was different. So I'd get so stressed out, still do, about how am I supposed to behave if I behave one way with this person and another way with this person? So those were some signs of masking, like finding myself saying like, "Oh, cool," or like agreeing with things that I don't agree with, kind of lying to myself and to other people, but oh, thinking about that in a compassionate way, like it's a survival skill, survival mechanism, and maybe we have other options, but sometimes it's the safer option is to mask. So I totally understand if a person chooses to mask and chooses wisely where to mask and where to unmask. Number seven is burning out, burnout symptoms, burnout city, like sleeping 14 hours a day and still feeling tired, just wanting to sleep more and more, wake, like just being going through periods of complete depression and then periods of like high social activity, like, and for this going on for weeks or months. Yeah, that was a sign of me. For me, it was like just being so out of touch with what my body needed, like not feeding myself enough, not hydrating, not like taking care of myself in social situations, and just constantly pushing myself, and therefore like finding myself like have no energy and not feeling happy, feeling anxious, feeling like I'm pushing myself and having a hard time all the time. So those are seven signs that you might be autistic or have ADHD. I am not a clinician. I say it again because don't take this and be like, this is for sure, but this is some information based on my own experience. So do with it what you will. I hope you watch some other videos and see what you think. If you want to follow me on this journey of learning more and sharing it with you, just hit the subscribe button. You'll see my next video. If you like this video, hit it with a like. If you got questions, concerns, curiosities, write a comment, try to be kind, and I'll see you next time. I hope you have a good day.